Welcome to Rick Rack Ruby. I'm Laura Cluvo. Today we will be making this vintage Bluebird angel Christmas ornament. She's fun and easy, so let's get started. I've collected a bunch of vintage items in this pale blue color. This is the inspiration, was an embroidered Bluebird. I think it was some kind of a table topper or a doily or something, but it's faded and damaged, and I just was able to salvage a section of it. Since the embroidery was fairly large, I decided to make it a little bit bigger than usual, and I'm using a 1-inch bead for the face. So it's 1 inch or about 25 millimeter bead. The theme is going to be this pale blue vintage color. This is ribbon. I don't know how I'm going to incorporate any of this. And that's the fun about the vintage, is that I really only have one shot at it because I don't have any more of this. So you will watch me create my one and only Bluebird angel. So let's get started. This is the closest that I had to this pale blue color, and it's very filmy. This is the 6-inch tool. So I'm going to use 3 lengths of the tool, and I cut this 7 inches, I believe. So I think I'll probably fold this in half and make it about 18 inches. So I'll cut 3 lengths of this filmy pale blue tool, 6-inch wide tool, to begin. So I have 3 lengths of the tool, and the 3 lengths of tool should fill the dress nicely. And also, because the head is a little bit larger, the hole is also larger. I'm going to bet that's almost 1/4 of an inch right there. So we have plenty of room to draw that through. I'm going to cut off a piece of this 1/16 inch satin ribbon. I feel like this is about 15 inches. I'll tie it off in the center. And then I'm going to draw it through the bead from the bottom to the top. So like this. And then down over the tool so that the tool comes out the top of the head just a little bit. I want it to be just right at the top of the hole. And then I'm going to back it out a little bit and add a smudge of glue, smudge of hot glue, and then pull it through again, making sure that that hot glue is inside the bead and holding it securely. I think that'll work. Next, I'm going to fold this right sides together and seam up the edges. This will be the back seam with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now I'm going to turn this right side out and gather up the top edge. I have a double strand of ivory colored quilting thread, and I'm just going to stitch all the way around about 1/4 of an inch from the edge, and I always use a thimble. There we go, that looks good. So I will put the angel inside. Oh, I forgot to tie this off. Let me do this really quick. I'm going to tie this off to become her hanging loop. I think I'd like this largest bird right in the front center, but it would be fine if it was a little off center too. And that is the way I cut it, so that if I center the back seam, that largest bird should be in the front. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, that's just kind of how I thought it would look, like a bell. Okay, so now I'm going to wrap and secure my thread. And I will also trim this tool a little bit longer than the dress. Now for her collar, I have a couple of options. I have this pretty thing. I think I would just, here's how it looks. I think I would remove this, which I'll do right now. This heart is so pretty. I'm sure I can use that somewhere else. I like this blue color because it's so subtle. It's just the right color. I'm just not sure if it's the right shape. It might work if we put a little lace collar first. Then I also have this blue, but it's a little strong. And then I also have this one, which is I think what I'm going to use. I'll just gather it around her neck, and then perhaps I can still use this beneath it. Let's give it a go. Remember, I only have one shot at this because I only have one piece. So I think I'll cut off about 15 inches or a half a yard of this and gather it up around her neck. I cut a half a yard of this, I don't know what color it is. Very vintage colored lace, and I'm going to gather it up along the straight edge with a double strand of quilting thread all the way along the top. There we go. So I'll place this around her neck and secure the ends together and back. Now I'm going to distribute the fullness evenly. That looks good. And then I'm going to stitch through from the back to the front. I'll secure the thread and back. Now I have a couple of options. I even have these cute flowers, vintage millinery. I like the color, but it's kind of big. It does look good. And then maybe I could slip this under. Sort of looks like a little cape. Kind of like that. That might be the winner. And then I also have this, it's just a crochet thread, but it has a shine. It's rayon. And I think it would be pretty just as a little bow. So that's an option. The other option, the only other option that I pulled out was this ribbon. This is cute. I don't know how old it is. It's 1750 something, 57 maybe? And it's 2 cents a yard. This ribbon's a little bit stiff. I don't think it's quite right. So I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to slip the front center underneath the front center of the lace collar, and I think I might just glue it. And then I'm going to cross these in the back like this. So I'm going to reach up in here and just add a little smudge of glue and press that in, and then a little smudge of glue in the back and press these sides in as well. That looks good. And I'm fairly sure that I will come back at the end and tie a little bow from this rayon cord, rayon thread, and maybe right here at the base of this and make a little bow here. I think that would be good at the end. So for the hair, I have 2 4x6 index cards, and I'm going to wrap the cards the long way with this loopy mohair natural colored yarn. I'll probably wrap about 50 times. So this is exactly 50 times, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to stitch across the center with my sewing machine. I will go back and forth at least twice, maybe 3 times. There we go. You can see I've sewn across the card, and now I will remove the card. I know this isn't pretty, so I'll turn off the camera and come back when it's done. This little wig is going to be styled into a top knot. So the first thing I want to do is apply some glue across the front, kind of like a hairband, and then the center of the wig will be pressed into that line of glue. I like to fold back and check, make sure I can see her face. That's good. And then in the back, I will continue to add glue all the way around the back of her neck. Then I'm going to press the seam into that glue. That looks good. Let's just check. That looks good. I might have gotten some glue into the collar, but no, it doesn't look too bad. Okay, so now when I draw this up into her top knot, I can see that's plenty of hair. I could have probably gone with 40 or 45, and I could have made my hanging loop a little bit longer. So I'm going to get a thread. Oh, I already had this left over from gathering up the lace. Then I'm going to tie this off very close to her head. So don't tie it off way out here. Just tie it off very close to her head. I feel like her hair is a little bit out of control, and I could have done a little bit fewer loops of yarn or shorter, but this is going to be fun. Now I like to add a little decoration to the front of the top knot, which I thought that this flower would be really perfect. Let's have a look. So there's our first option. Then I also have these little blue daisies. Which seems kind of bland now after seeing this fabulous thing. I think we're going to have to go with this. It's just going to sort of blend in with all that hair. It's going to be great. All right, so I'm going to add some hot glue to the back of this flower. This is Vintage Millinery. Great. Okay, now I can add the halo. This is 20 gauge gold wire. I'm going to cut off 6 or 8 inches, fashion it into a circle, and then twist these ends together. Shape that into a circle, bend it down like this. And then I'm going to hot glue the ends and press that into the center. I kind of like when the halo comes forward kind of in the middle of the hair. So it's not way up above the hair, but kind of comes through the hair. That makes sense? Great. Now for her wings, I have these feathers. It's always kind of a challenge to get pairs of feathers left and right that look the same. These have a definite curl or a bend, and they want to bend in this certain way. And like I say, it's impossible to get them to look exactly the same on each side. Okay, I've done my best to find pairs of feathers that seem like they're similar in shape and size. And so I'm going to glue these to the back. So boom, boom, and then boom, boom. Let's see how that's going to look. Oh, they need to be higher. Okay. So they're really going to be glued behind her neck. So behind her neck means right here, just below her hair, right in there. These feathers are vintage. I know, I'm sorry. I wish I could give you a source for these, but I actually got them at a Paris flea market. Isn't that romantic? How about that? That could be cute. That looks good. I think I'm going to just go ahead and add this to the back. Right there. What do you think? Just a little bit of glue right in the center there. That looks good. Okay, there's our halo, there's that. I have one more touch. I'm going to add one of these little blue daisies right here. I know that it's not exactly the same color family, but I feel like because it's different, it just kind of enlivens the entire project, and I like the way that looks. A button would have been good as well. Like a little mother of pearl button. Let's see. Oh, she's so cute. Okay, here's how she looks. Nice. And that was really fast, to be honest. Thank you for watching my tutorial. If you're enjoying my videos, please like, share, and subscribe.